Right, let's go cracking. Good morning, welcome to Monday morning's Outlook. This is Kim Watson speaking on the 11th of October, 7:50, goodness. So let's have a look at what's going on in the markets. I'm going to just show you the yields first. This is a little bit concerning, I don't know why I'm concerned, but it's generally when the yields are running up like this, we've seen the dollar gaining strength, and at the moment it's not. It's hanging off there at this stage. But as I say, yields up to this level, we saw them back in April going up to 1.7, and when they get up to that sort of level, particularly, we saw much more action coming in, and the yields going down again, and a change of shape, and the dollar getting stronger. At the moment, I'm wondering whether we'll see dollar buying, but at the moment it isn't. There's the euro, for example, just looking at here, it had a reasonable day on Friday in the end, and is pushing up now. And if we look at the chart on the euro, we've got this higher low coming through, and it's pushing up now. It's a bank holiday in the US and North America actually today. Let's just come back to here. Let's just look at the calendar today. So bank holidays today. Tomorrow we've got not a great deal out with a bit of European data. This can create some volatility, but it's not a massive day. We've got FOMC minutes, so it's the minutes, not the meeting. We'll maybe see more about the tapering within those minutes, and core retail sales and things like this. I'm just looking through, trying to pick out anything there that's really big, and there isn't really. It's a quiet old week. Always used to be a quiet week after non-farm payrolls on the reporting side of things, and this week's no different. So, euro at the moment pushing up, higher lows, as I said, just coming down the time frames. You see that a bit clearer. It is running into resistance where it's sitting at the moment, so there is resistance on the 4-hourly. You see the 4-hourly 240, obviously it's 60-minute 200, sitting at that area. So this post 8 o'clock may slow down a little bit. Still like the bigger trend. The bigger trend's quite clear at this stage. The downside, if you look at the weeklies, even clearer downside trend. We did close just below. It's actually, so I'm saying weekly, it's monthly. Monthly 50 we closed below. It's just to get the weekly up there as well. Well, weekly is a little bit different. We've got that sort of spinning top type candle there, which could be a sign of a little bit of a change. So yeah, there's a few cracks in the picture. Maybe a bit of more of a bounce to come. Excuse me, right, sorry. Okay, looking then at the pound dollar. Pound dollar's been pushing up a little bit stronger this morning. It's Friday, didn't hold on to its gain so much on Friday, bouncing all over the place, and it's got a bit choppy last week. However, overall, we've still got the higher lows, higher highs, and to me, it's still erring more on the buy side often than the sell side. Now, I've said that, and this morning, as I said with the euro, we could just see a bit of a turnaround with those yields quite so high. We could see a turnaround occur, but at the moment it's sitting much more on the bullish side. I think on the pound overall, I'm a little bit more bullish for expecting a little bit more upside. Yen, dollar yen. Well, that's again pushing up. I've just seen the a comment from Japan's Prime Minister there is to decide swiftly on an economic package. Well, the yen's just sort of looking very, very soft at the moment. May continue to do so, but for now, it's very much the upside. Buying opportunities maybe on the retracements. The only thing for today, we're up right into the R2 already. Just a bit wary, but. Euro, like if I'm saying euro, I'm looking at the euro yen on another chart, and you can just see how soft the yen is compared to some of its some of the other majors. Aussie dollar again pushing up this morning. So as I said, it's really strange. We've seen the yields really pushing up. It may be just because there's a holiday. Traders taking advantage, but the bonds obviously being sold, but yields pushing up, and we're seeing the US dollar soft here at the moment as well, but it could all change later. as defence mechanisms come in, and the Aussie dollar look higher lows coming in on the hourlies, and there's no divergence, and maybe a bit of RSI divergence kicking across there. No, there's no divergence at all. All looks reasonably strong. I won't go chasing the Aussie dollar in the mornings. It's more of an afternoon, evening trade sort of thing. Maybe or just get up really early and trade it, but it's already pushed a long way there at the moment. Canadian dollar, looking at the daily, is looking stronger than it has for a long time against the US dollar here. Breaking the prior lows there. That's confirming a lower high, and just benefiting from oil prices as much as anything. No, I was just looking to see if there's any divergence at lows here, maybe a bit of RSI divergence. Yep, there is a little bit of RSI divergence, but the longer term, nothing really. It's just still rolling over. Any sort of change in direction here could see it running at some point towards the weekly pivots. So always wary when the markets are pulling off quite strongly from the first thing, but as I said, it's quite odd that we're seeing markets moving quite as they are at the moment. Cross pairs, I did mention the euro yen there. Euro yen really catching the bid at the moment, and look, you see this pushing up quite solidly today already. And has it already done its course? I do wonder. Sort of to say, look at these. It's gone so far. It may see a correction. Just nothing for me at the moment. It's a sit and wait sort of situation there. Other cross pairs I look at, Euro CAD I was talking about last week. A couple of times opportunities came there. You see from a daily point of view, it's been selling off quite well. It's still looking quite soft here. Opportunities this week might come on or move back towards the pivot there if it comes that far. Looking at the hourlies, to just look at the daily pivot, actually. Daily pivot's not quite been hit yet. Again, that might just give a point of resistance and a point to sell into. Still looking really at 60-minute 50. It hasn't been touched for a long time. And may give it a better opportunity if it gets up that way. There is a bit of divergence across these lows by looks of things. A bit of a divergence, which could be just saying it's a bit softer, but nothing can really confirm there yet for me. Right, okay, that's the majors and some of the cross pairs I'm looking at. I was a bit more interested in. All the yen pairs are doing quite well at the moment. They've all been pushing up, but the problem is they're doing it. And it's a case of waiting patiently for something to happen. Even CAD yen here, the pound yen, they're all yen's just very soft this morning, softest of the lot. So there we go. Okay, the pound is one of the strongest as it's pushing up. So let's look at okay, I'll answer that question in a moment, Jazz there. Okay, moving across then to equity to commodities and gold. So gold, it's a bit of a surprise on gold here. It's a bit of a surprise. We often see it selling off into the time period we're in, but it might start picking back up cyclically again, but soon. But we've seen this sort of sell off here on Friday. It sort of pitched up and just couldn't hold on to its gains, and that to me just looks like there's a sign of softness. Last week, really quite range bound between its weekly and monthly pivots there, squeezed in there. It's already just air kissed the weekly pivot today already, and just looking very choppy. So not a lot I could want to do with that. But the only thing is, at some stage it may become a sell on the break, maybe of this sort of 1748 area. If it breaks down below that area again, it looks much weaker. Oil. Oil is just continue the run upwards. We're back into $80 now here, the $80 area. I'm just going to have to come out actually into the bigger picture here. We're looking at having to go out to the monthly picture to look for sort of next points of resistance, and you see it's well, the round numbers themselves may come in, but you're looking at $86. I've drawn on previous lows back there, which may just sort of affect the price, but at the moment it's largely buy on retracement sort of situation with it. particularly in the afternoons normally. Now just remember though, it is the US bank holiday, and it may be a little bit slower today, but either way, but for me it's would be looking to buy these in the afternoons, day trading wise, on any retracement or breakouts of after 2 o'clock. Right, that's oil. Okay, let's switch across to some other markets now. I'm just going to switch charting packages only because I've got more on here. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin pushing up here. Going quite well at the moment. It looks like it's on. I mean, over the weekend, it's Friday was Saturday was okay. Sunday was a bit profit taking again, but today it's been pushing up. It does look like this 60,000 area is going to be challenged the way it's routing at the moment. Others are starting to pick up a little bit better, although Ethereum yesterday took a bit of a hit yesterday and didn't. Well, we're starting to recover from it this morning. But asked a question on Ripple here. Is it going to go towards the 1.5 area? It's been the slower one of largely. It did have a decent breakout there on Saturday, pulled back a bit yesterday as all the others did, but pushing okay. Is it going to? I mean, the obvious area next point of is the 1.4. If you were looking at targeting, and a lot of people would be targeting or just under. Yeah. Some are looking at 116. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Should you hold it? Well, I can't really give advice in terms of that, but in terms of the technically where it's likely potentially can go, the 1.4 area, maybe the 1.6 area could get into there. I mean, we've seen Bitcoin just pushing that little bit stronger than these others. Remember, Ripple has is the sort of the weaker cousin at the moment slightly, and has been held back somewhat, although it is one of my sort of more favourite coins there. Right, okay, let's switch over now to the indices. The average on the crypto, I've just got 100 moving average on the crypto. I'm not looking at them in any real detail on the lower time frames or trying to day trade them or anything. I just, on this particular chart, I've just got 100 moving average on there. It's funny actually, I normally use the 50 and the 200, so I would use the 50 and 200 largely as key moving averages. They're my my favoured ones. It's just I'd switched it to 100 at some point. But it doesn't really matter. I'm looking at price action as opposed to the moving average. So, looking at CSI 300, personally, I still think at some stage we've got the potential to break to the downside here, especially with Evergrande still sitting in the background there. It's been forgotten, it seems, for now. It's gone off the radar, but it's still got the potential on the downside, and that could just draw these markets down. Seeing a bit of a bounce. It's just like we're seeing the currencies doing quite well today. We're seeing this sort of bounce on the Nikkei at least. This morning it's pushed up through, closed off a few gaps there. Just reminds me of the island reversal sitting at the top there. Someone said, how far can it go? It went a long way on that occasion. There's no absolute guarantee to how far these things would go, but anyway, this is closed off this one gap, but so often gaps do get filled. May see the Nikkei pushing up there, but I am a bit wary of the knock-on effects of some of these larger companies under stress. Talking of which, let's have a look at the FTSE this morning. It only just opened. Thursday, Friday it pushed up okay. Today it's opening up marginally positive at the moment. There's a slight positivity out there in the market. The DAX gaps down. It looks like closed that gap already by it looks like as well, but still slightly up from its open, but down from Friday. The CAC. Yeah, to me, these markets, I'm just sort of looking through them and then sort of getting a feel for what they've been doing, but in the short term here. But just looking at the patterns, I just see weakness kicking through on these markets. Just the lower highs, lower lows, and it's weakness. S&Ps, let's just go and see S&Ps. Yep, it's sort of had it pulled up last Friday, Thursday it broke out there and looked a bit more positive, but sold Friday, selling into this morning, and I just I just think the futures, these equity markets, I still think they've got with the problem we got is inflation, and inflation is not good for equity markets. And I think it's with the fuel inflation and every other inflation that's sort of sitting out, the knock-on effects of fuel inflation. It's a slow burner before it gets into other factors often, before it really shows up and then people start putting prices up. And when that happens, inflation becomes a bit more here to stay and a bit more knock on. And I just think we're at the we've seen maybe a bit of a top there, and we're running down, we're looking a bit soft, and we could just see a bit more correction. Now we will have days and weeks when it rallies, but it just looks a bit soft. It's the softest they looked for a long time to me. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to wish you a great weekend. Day. It feels like the weekend. I just remembered I finished a weekend. We're just back in. Just remind yourself. A great day, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now. There we go.